I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm.
I'm here, yes indeed. It's Crazy Neil here with the scientific deal of the year. Yeah!
Ah, Mr. Neil, so glad you could join us. If you could please sit with Dr. Magnus on the sofa, the host will be with you shortly.
I'll just leave this device here next to this other one, shall I?
Sure, whatever works for you. Sorry, Mr. Mims, but it's going to be a bit of a squash to get you on the sofa
Oh,
now.
that's fine. We don't need him until the experiment starts. But this device...
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
What's this one do?
God knows, it just showed up.
Fascinating.
What's fascinating?
My inability to express my true feelings, if my mother's to be believed.
What's fascinating is how we can offer such quality products at such low prices. Good to see you again, Mr. Donaldson.
Thank goodness we have two equally qualified guests, Mr. Neil.
Call me Crazy Neil.
Let's say no for now.
This is Dr. Charles Magnus.
Another equally skilled salesperson, if the reports on your funding levels are to be believed. Jeremy Donaldson, professional cynic.
Charles Magnus, impervious to skepticism.
There's no need for skepticism, Jeremy, just the ability to spot a great deal.
Right, of course.
Sorry, I'm late. Flard exploded. Professor Magnus.
Dr. Magnus, apparently.
Either is fine.
And Mr. Neil.
Crazy Neil! When you live the crazy like I do, it's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. Yeah!
Of course it is. Amazing.
10 seconds, everybody.
This should be fun.
Try not to buy anything.
Going in 5, 4, 3...
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team and special guests.
That's right. We're joined tonight by a world-renowned scientist and a salesman.
That should say Captain of Industry.
It does. I amended it on the fly.
The first, fresh from his laboratory in Chintlebury, is Dr. Charles Magnus, head of the Happiness Collective, who claims his Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country.
And our other guest is a man who wears the title of Crazy with Pride and once tried to sell me a self-freezing toaster. I'm still not sure why I would want one, but anyway, it's Crazy Neil.
Yes, indeed. I'm bringing the appliance of science at an unbelievable price.
So don't go away. Stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you
The Night of Smiles.
And a minute back.
We normally like to introduce our guests before they speak, Mr. Neil.
There will be plenty of time to talk when we come back from the titles.
Yeah, speaking of that, when will I get a chance to introduce my device so our viewers can compare the two?
Sorry, his device? What's this now?
Salesperson. Sorry, Dr. Magnus, did Mr. Bozeman not explain to you that when he invited Mr. Neil...
Crazy Neil.
Sorry, yes. When Mr. Crazy Neil was invited to come onto the show, he brought his own device as an alternative.
You can't be serious. I mean, this is preposterous. I've spent years researching and planning for tonight. Countless hours given up, opportunities ignored, friends lost, lumps that probably should have been checked, and this senseless charlatan is attempting to plagiarize my entire life's work.
You will have plenty of time to make your case, Dr. Magnus.
Back in 10.
It's just... I can't believe it.
5, 4, 3...
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, one of the impressive machines behind me will be activated in the first ever mass experiment of its type. But first, let's meet the men behind these multiple merriment machines, Dr. Charles Magnus and Crazy Neil.
Hello, hey, hola, buongiorno. Hi there, Crazy Neil with the best happiness device around. And it's an unreal steal of a deal.
Hello.
Thank you both for joining us. Mr. Neil, let's start with you.
Crazy. When you live the crazy like I do, Mr. Donaldson, it's a lifestyle, not a brand.
Of course. Mr. Neil, you've come here today with, what did you call it again?
Crazy Neil's joyous jubilation contraption. You won't find better out there. No, sir.
What exactly does it do?
Well, you see, you press this button and your greatest dreams, your ultimate happiness, your true bliss, they all come true.
Wow, that's quite the device there. And you say you made it last night?
Yes, ma'am. I saw the show being advertised and I said I wasn't going to be outdone by no buffing in a lab coat. No offence, brainbucks. So I got together with the current Mrs. Crazy Neil, ex-Mrs. Neil's 1 through 3, 5 and 6.
Wow, that's quite the team. And they all happily work together with you?
Well, other than number 4, we're all on speaking terms. Number 5 is the director of a national space program.
So, Do tell us, how does it actually work?
Yes, I'd be very curious to know.
I can't give that away, I'm afraid. Otherwise, we'll have knockoff Crazy Neils springing up everywhere.
How very convenient.
Agreed. So let's turn to you, Dr. Magnus. What's the name of your device?
Okay, so it's my turn, is it? About time. I'll have another lump after this, no wonder. They're brought on by unnecessary stress. So, the Happiness Collective is a team of highly qualified professional scientists and engineers from a multitude of institutions and disciplines, and we have created the Euphoria device, a real scientific breakthrough that will revolutionize contentment in this nation and eventually the wider world.
Well, an equally ambitious claim there. How long did it take your exceptional team to get this all started?
Years, obviously. In the world of actual science, proper processes need to be followed to ensure safety. Standards need to be adhered to at each iteration and...
Absolutely, whereas you did yours last night.
And this is why business is always giving science a wedgie. We give the people what they need when they need it. And that's a Crazy Neil guarantee.
How does your device work, Doctor?
Well, obviously some of that information is proprietary.
See? Convenient.
I'll try and explain the basics as simply as possible.
As simple as getting a crazy deal?
Everything is vibration. Everything is vibrating. A particle is also a wave.
But you can wave goodbye to expensive flights with Crazy Neil's bathroom, surfer, ocean wave machine. When the beach comes to you, may cause electrocution.
A wave is, if you like, a note, and we all vibrate at different notes depending on our mood. Happier people vibrate at a higher frequency than sad people, for example.
I know my wife is always happier when she's vibrating, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I give up.
I understand, Dr. Magnus. Thank you. Megan?
Yes, well, there is only a minute or two to go now. So while we go and get set up with the devices, let's go and head on live to the new Advance HQ for a special message from the Prime Ministers, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury.
Okay, we've got about a minute. Lovely stuff. If we could get you all over to the devices now, please.
So who won?
Sorry?
Well, you're going to start up my device, or Brainbox is here.
I think, Mr. Neil, while it's been very entertaining having you on the show, we're probably going to go with Dr. Magnus's device.
Some sanity at last. Chester.
Yes, Dr. Magnus.
It looks like Nickel and Copper might have brought a little friend. Let's get another dermatologist appointment for next week, shall we?
Okey-dokey, I'll make a note of that straight away. Let's invite Zinc along to the party.
Please don't make light of my numbering system. Just book the fucking appointment.
What's he charging you for this bucket of bolts?
10
Whatever
seconds.
it is, I'll half the cost.
You fundamentally misunderstood this. 5 seconds, push the right button. 3, 2.
Fantastic, the Prime Minister's there.
Who are, of course, responsible in so many ways for what we're witnessing tonight.
So who's going to get their button pressed?
Well, I'm personally obviously sure that they'd both prove equal value to society.
I tell
but
you
I
what,
think we're probably...
I'll give you your first press for free.
No!
Oh, well, that ain't right, huh?
Please, Mr. Neil, much better to leave these things to the professionals.